Balasana, your child's pose here. You know, make your arms someplace comfortable, whether they're extended fully out in front of you or whether they are down by your sides. You can even stack your hands if you want a really, really gentler version, and just let the forehead rest on the hands as well. Child's pose does really good things for the knees and for the feet and for the hips, and it kind of sets a tone and an energy for the practice. It's a good pose to, start to understand the breath and how to feel the breath and how to place importance in the breath. There's really not a whole lot else going on in the pose itself. And that said, the breathing can feel a little constricted with your legs together, so you might choose to, put a little space in between your knees and give yourself a little bit more space in your lungs, your chest, and such. So yoga is a practice of creating space, time and gravity and energy and such really is constrictive on our growth and on our wellness. And a lot of that is because we tend to shrink, we shrivel, figuratively and literally. And yoga will help you kind of reclaim some of that space. And quite honestly, if it's really only in your back that you are able to get some of that space, that's a good thing. A healthy back will translate quite a bit to a healthy rest of the body. Let's take the arms out in front of us and start to get a little lengthening happening in our spine and in our arms. So pressing your hands into the mat, effectively pushing your hips closer towards your heels, giving your side body a little bit more of a stretch. Walk your hands over to the right side or just slide them over to the right a bit so you can feel a little bit of a left side body stretch. Drop down into your left rib cage a bit, but lengthen through the left arm at the same time. And then kind of squiggle and wiggle and find your sweet spot. This should feel pretty good. Certainly as an opening stretch in your practice. Let's go over to the other side. Kind of slide the hands over to the left and get nice and long in the right side body. And so I'm feeling space into your right ribs, into your right waist. Hips push back towards the heels. Press firmly through your right hand and start to welcome that kind of space into the body. Good. And then let's come back to the center. Very nice. Take one more breath here, perhaps finding your longest version of a child's pose. And then bring yourself up to your hands and your knees. Up to your hands and your knees. We're going to take our hands, we're going to turn them the other way. So your fingertips are pointing towards your knees, your thumbs are pointing outward. So you might feel like your hands and your knees are a little closer together. Avoid hyperextending the elbows. So see if you can take a slight bend to your elbows. And then cats and cows. Take an inhale here. Lift your tail and lift your chest as you stretch your arms. Exhale, breathing. Push firmly into the hands. Drop your tail and really get into your back. Nice. And then continue with that. Going a little slow, you can feel your wrists and your inner forearms start to open up a little tiny bit. It's a real tight part of the body because our hands spend a lot of time in flexion. Now we're creating space there by bringing a little extension into that part of the body. Well done. Take one more of these. Nice and slow, moving through each vertebrae of your spine. Good. And then settle back into the center. Now turn your fingertips so that they point sideways. Your left fingertips are pointing left. The right fingertips are pointing right. And just shift left and right. Starting to gently distribute the weight. Starting to put weight gently into each wrist. It's a good way to warm them up before you get into some of the other weight-bearing postures in our arms. Little left and right with your body here. Very nice. And then settle back into the center and turn your hands back forward. Good. Take your left leg, extend it behind you for a side plank. Drop your left heel down on the inside. Push your hips a little bit forward and reach your left arm up into the air. So you're balancing on your right side body. Good. Finding some focus by either looking up or looking down, but the focus is important in helping you to stay balanced. See if you can pick up your left leg. So you'll pitch your weight a little bit forward into your right arm. You'll lift your left leg up right from the glute. Very nice. Keep the leg lifted. Place your left hand on your left hip. And now swing your left leg out to the left. Put the foot down on the floor. Come up to your kneeling position. So setting up for a gate pose variation here. With your hips forward, reach your arms up over your head. Grab your right wrist with your left hand and tilt over to the left. You might not go far, but this is a powerful stretch for your right side body. Lift your rib cage up away from your hips, pull your belly in, and take yourself over to the left leg. Well done. Release, come up. See if you can place your right fingertips on the floor outside your right hip and take your left arm up over your head. So kind of similar to the side plank that we just did. Really a similar shape in the body, just a little different with the back leg. Push your hips forward, reach through your left arm, and press through your left foot. Very nice. And now inhale, breathing, bring yourself back up. Place your hands on your hips, take your left foot, and now just step it up to the front of the mat. Coming into a lunge position on this side, reach your both arms up over your head, and lean your chest back. Breathe. Let your side body get long. Put weight into the front heel. Lift up through the chest, thumbs reach back behind you. See if you can firm up your triceps, your biceps, even a bit, into your right glute to get down a little bit deeper into the hips. Beautiful. Place your hands down on the floor and shift your weight back, half split. So straighten your left leg. Flex your left foot and hello leg, right? This gets right to it. Simple, basic pose. Feeling your left leg get a little bit longer. Flex through the foot, bring the chest, the head down towards the leg. Side body stays long, so you're reaching your chest away from your hips, perhaps getting it a little bit lower towards the leg. Take a breath here. Make sure you're not holding your breath. This is when the body really needs that kind of energy, that oxygen. Well done. One more breath here. Beautiful. And then come back to the lunge position. Pick up your right knee and step your right foot up to the front of the mat. Good. Place your hands on your shins. Take a big inhale. Half lift here. Exhale, breathing, and drop back in. Good. And then inhale, stand up and sweep your arms up over your head. Reach up towards the ceiling and place your palms together and bring your hands to your heart center. In what we would call Samasthiti, a variation of a mountain pose at the top of the mat. Inhale, breathing, reach your arms up. Exhale, breathing, take a forward fold, nice and soft. Bend your knees, it's okay. Drop your head all the way down, good. Inhale, breathing, step back into downward dog. Tailbone lifting up into the air. So taking your first dog, maybe it has a little bit of movement to it. Pulsing through, as they say, cuddling the dog a little bit or walking the dog or whatnot. Dropping one heel, bending the opposite knee. Letting the side body, back body get long, spine get long. Relax the head and the neck. Good. Feel the whole arm, chest stretching and opening up again. All this space that we're getting. So don't let the weight come down into the ground. Take the weight away from the ground. Make yourself lighter, longer, leaner in all of these poses. One more breath here. Very nice. And then gently come forward and place your knees down on the floor. Very good. So we'll take all of that on the other side. So step the right leg back, side plank first. Drop the right heel down, lean into your left arm. Turn your body and your torso to the right and reach up with your right arm. Good. Open up across the chest. Keep your left shoulder away from your ear. Create space into your body. Lean into your left arm. Lift your right leg up. You can flex the foot a little bit. Working from the glute, from the inner thigh. Push through your right heel to get the extension and the lift in the leg. Place the right hand on the right hip. Swing your right leg out to the side and place the foot down. Lift up. So the arch of your right foot should be in some line with your left knee. Good. Take your arms up over your head, gate pose, and reach for your left wrist with your right hand. Lift the rib cage up, chin up, and side body bend over to the right. Pelvis pushes forward, keep your chin up away from your chest, draw your belly in, let your left side get long. Good. And now other side, bring your left fingertips down and take your right arm up over your head. Good. Push through your right foot, reach through your right fingertips. Yeah, pelvis presses forward. Wonderful space. Again, it's that side plank variation. It's done a little bit differently. Well done. And then inhale, breathing, come back up. Hands to your hips. Take your right foot and step it up to the front of the mat. Right, maybe the left knee goes back a bit. Keep your right knee over your right ankle and lift up. Low lunge. Lift your chest up. Lift your heart up. Right? Let the breath find the length in the body, in the lungs, the space, the energy. Pick up all this space around you. There's a certain limitlessness to our yoga practice. Good. Hips forward, upper body back. Open up the chest. One more breath. Half splits. Put your hands down on the floor. Shift your weight back. Straighten out your right leg. Flex your right foot. Lift the chest up and right into the glute, right into the hamstrings. Just go to your edge, even though you might not feel like you're going very far. If you're feeling it, you're going there. Right? These hamstrings, they're unforgiving. In and out through the nose, so underneath the right leg starts to open up. Let the eye gaze glaze a little bit, helping you to get that much more into your practice, into this moment, into this sensation, this information that our bodies give us. We give ourselves an opportunity to actually listen to it. One more breath here. Good. And then come back forward into the lunge, pick up the left knee, and step your left foot up to the front of the mat. Good. Inhale, breathing, half lift. Nice. Exhale, breathing, and drop down. Good. And then inhale, stand all the way up. Circle your arms up over your head and bring your hands to your heart center. Very nice. Good. Let's take the left leg and step it to the back of the mat. Good. Turn yourself towards the left so you're in this standing wide leg position. Bring your hands behind you, interlace your fingers. Pull your knuckles back, drop your head and your chest down. Come into your forward fold here. Good. Notice how the weight went back towards your heels. See if you can take a little bit back towards the balls of your feet. Pulling your knuckles away from your low back, let your chest and your shoulders open up, let the head big. Upper body hangs down, inner thighs open up. This is a great posture. One more breath. And now release the hands down. On the ground, under your shoulders, straighten your arms, lift your chest. Good. And then bend into your right leg and drop the weight over to the right side. You can walk your hands over to the right a little bit. This doesn't have to be terribly deep. I'd rather you keep your spine nice and long. Reaching the chest away from the hips as you drop down as best as you can into your right leg. Good. Now take this over to the left leg and doing the same thing. Weight into the left heel, right outer foot presses down, reach the chest forward, just a little tiny bit, getting into the hips and the inner thighs now. And then one more time over to each side. I'll walk on over to the right, drop down a bit, good. And then walk on over to the left and drop down from there. Beautiful. And then come back up to the center, place your hands on your hips, and bring yourself up to a stand. So take your left foot, turn your left foot towards the back of your mat, warrior two pose. Slide your right heel back a little tiny bit, bend into your left knee, good, and open up, grabbing your chest, nice, Reaching your arms out parallel to the floor. Good. And then holding your chest up as you let the hips, the legs drop down a little bit more. So working into the legs and the hips. Good. And of course, working into your breath, your warrior two pose. Beautiful, beautiful posture. Let's take an inhale, straighten the leg and reach the arms up over your head. Just get long here. Good. And now exhale, get grounded. Come back to warrior two. Good. Inhale, breathing again. Lift up, stretch up. And exhale, breathing. Come back down. Nice and slow. One more time. Inhale, breathing. Take it up. And exhale, breathing. Good. We bring it back down. Nice. Place your hands on your hips and we'll switch sides. Straighten the left leg and just pivot the feet. So same pose, other direction, other leg, turning right toes forward. And again, warrior two, dropping down, getting warmed up into the hips a little bit. Drop down into your front leg, reaching the arms up. Nice. Push, lengthen through your left leg as you drop down through your right heel. Good. Open up your chest, reaching your arms apart. Nice. Weight into the outer part of the feet. Low belly pulls in. Inhale, breathing. Arms up, straighten out the leg. And exhale, breathing. Come back to warrior two. Inhale, breathing again. Lift up. And exhale, breathing. Come back down. Nice. Last one. Inhale, breathing. Bring it up. And exhale, breathing. Warrior two pose. Warrior two to downward facing dog. Place your hands down on the floor. Spin on the ball of your back foot and step your right leg to the back. Downward facing dog, tailbone lifting up into the air. Good. Inhale, breathing, plank pose. Shift forward, shoulders over wrists, high on your tippy toes. Exhale, breathing, lower all the way down to the ground. Release the tops of your feet. Take a breath, inhale, lift your chest up, cobra pose. Minimal weight in your arms, so you're working a whole lot more in your legs and in your back. Exhale, breathing, and lower down. Beautiful. Bring yourself back to downward facing dog. Push yourself back up off the floor. And take a couple of breaths when you get there. Nice. From your dog, look forward and bring your feet up to the top of the mat. Inhale, breathing, half lift. Exhale, breathing, and fold. Good. And inhale, come all the way up. And exhale, breathing, bring your hands to your heart center. Good. So from the standing position, we'll take a little shoulder and arm stretch. Reach your arms out in front of you and have your thumbs pointing up. Spread your fingers, right? Now turn your thumbs to point down. So the backs of your hands are facing each other. Take your right hand, your right arm, bring it on top of your left, right, wrist to wrist, and then interlace your fingers. Now drop the fingers down, start pulling the fingers towards your chest, and then reaching them away, maybe, getting into the forearms and the arms a little tiny bit. Quite a bit of a stretch. Nice. Now bring it back. Opening. And this time, just bring the palms of your hands together. Elbows bend. Arms come up over your head like a fountain of youth. And now slowly start to straighten your arms into this wonderful shoulder stretch. Really a nice way to get into the chest and into the upper part of the body here. Good. And then slowly bring it out in front of you and uncross the hands. Okay, so we'll do all of that on the other side. So thumbs are facing down. Take the left hand arm over the right. Connect, interlace. Pull the knuckles underneath and then bring them forward and open up. Huge twist to the arms, all these muscles in there, here, there, wherever, starting to stretch. Keep the shoulders down. Good. And now bring it back. Good. This time just a light palm grip, inverted prayer, really. Elbows bend a bit. Take the arms up over your head. Nice. And then straighten out your arms into this wonderful little tricep stretch into your arms and into your chest. We'll play with this in a balanced pose in a little while. Nice. And then gently release just the arms and let them come down by your side. And then shake them out just a little tiny bit. The wrists, the arms, right? You don't really come into those shapes very much. All right, moving on. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, breathing forward fold and come down. Take a forward fold. Good. On your inhale, look forward, step your right leg to the back of the mat. It's a high crescent lunge. So keeping your back heel off the floor. Really nice, Robin. Lift yourself up. Good, Debbie. Reach your arms up into the air. Your back leg can be bent. So your right knee might be a little bit bent. I want you to find freedom, space into your spine, and don't let the back leg kind of tilt your hips or compromise any of that. Draw your rib cage in, soften your throat and your neck, firm up your arm muscles and reach them all the way, fingertips all the way up into the air. Put weight into your left heel. Fantastic. Now drop the right heel down, warrior two pose. Turn your torso to the side and bring your arms down parallel to the floor. Good, Debbie. Reaching right fingertips to fingertips. Take a breath when you come into this pose. You settle into the pose. You actually own the pose when you start breathing in it. Inhale, straighten out the front leg. Bring the arms up over your head. Do that at the same time. Exhale, breathing. Come back to warrior two. Hold the warrior two for a moment. Turn the left palm to face up. Reverse the warrior and lean back. Either slide your right hand down your right leg or slide the back of your right hand across your low back, coming into a little bit of a cleaner side bend. Good. From your reverse warrior, come out of that and right into triangle pose. Straighten your left leg, reach yourself forward, and bring your left hand down on your left shin. Take your right arm and reach that up into the air. Open up your chest. Try not to flare your ribs. Get more of a twist and less of a backward bend in your triangle pose. Inhale, lift out of triangle and turn your left toes towards the right. So you're in this wide standing position. Take a forward fold here. Come down. Put your hands down on the floor underneath your shoulders. Turn all 10 of your fingers the other way and walk your hands back through your legs. You can come onto the palms of your hands. You can stay on your fingertips if you'd like. Get a little traction with the earth to pull the chest down a little bit more. Lift your tailbone up a little higher and let the head hang heavy. Take a few breaths here with each exhalation. Let go of something else. Get a little closer to the floor, not for the sake of touching the floor, but for the sake of finding more space in your body. Walk your hands back underneath your shoulders. Push into the floor. Now walk your hands towards your left foot. Turn your left toes forward. Runner's lunge. Left knee bent. Pick up your left arm. Open up and twist. Turn. Turn your spine and open up. Really nice. Take the head, the neck into a comfortable position. And then vinyasa. Bring the hand down. Take the left leg back to the right. And you can take it to where we were just a moment ago. Lie on your belly. Good, Robin. Lift your chest up a bit. And then please come back to downward facing dog. Right. A couple of breaths here. In your down dog, we'll take it on the other side. Right leg lifts up into the air. Bend your right knee. Stack your right hip on top of the left. Stay firm in your left arm. Good. And now take your right foot and step it up in between your hands. High crescent lunge. Inhale, breathing. Lift up from here. Again, back knee might be bent a little bit. Notice how much better it feels when it is. Hold your chest up and reach up through your side body. Drop down into your front heel. Good. Try and keep your left hip a little bit forward. Nice. as you start to build strength into your lower body isometrically, of course, strengthening the muscles of your legs. Beautiful. Open up, warrior two pose. Drop the heel down. Yep. Other side. And reach right out through your right fingertips. You might find you have to adjust the distance between your feet. That's okay. You make these subtle changes when you come into these poses. Good. Inhale, straighten the right leg. Bring your arms up over your head. Reach up. Exhale, breathing. Come back to warrior two. Turn your right palm to face up. Reverse the warrior. Lean back. Lean away from your front leg. Left hand goes down the left leg, or it slides behind your back. Beautiful. Release this right into triangle. As you come up, straighten out the front leg. Side body bend forward. Bring the right hand down. Lift your left arm up. You might find the arm can come down quite a bit on the leg, or maybe you hold it up a little higher. Good. Use your legs, inner thighs drawing towards one another. Press the pads of the feet into the ground. Right? Take the energy up the legs and then reach up through the top arm. Find some comfort with your neck. I prefer to look down in my triangle pose. One more breath here. Good. And now lift yourself up. Turn your right toes towards the left. One more forward fold. Come on down. Grab your heels, your calves, your ankles, either any part of your lower leg as best as you can. Relax the head and the neck, and with your arm strength, start to pull your chest not only down towards the floor, but closer in between your legs. Take the weight a little bit forward towards your toes. Make sure you're breathing as you exhale. The upper body finds a little bit more space. Good. You can drop down a little bit more into the upper body. Good. Tailbone lifts up. One more breath. Nice. And bring your hands back underneath your shoulders. Look forward. Walk to your right foot. Turn your right toes forward. Runner's lunge. Pick up your right arm. Inhale, breathing. Open up. Twist it out. And then step up to the front of the mat. Bring your right hand down and step your left foot up. Inhale, breathing, half lift. Exhale, breathing, and you fold. And then inhale, stand all the way up. Circle your arms up, your tallest you've been. Place your hands together in front of your heart. Nice. 2 breaths here, Samasthiti. We'll take this one more time around with our little flow. Inhale, breathing, arms up overhead. Exhale, breathing, forward fold, come down. Good. Inhale, left leg steps to the back of the mat. High lunge, lift yourself up. Big breath here. Good. Exhale, right to the warrior two pose. Drop down. We flow. Inhale, straighten the leg. Reach the arms all the way up. Exhale, breathing, come back to the warrior two. Good. Inhale, breathing, reverse the warrior. Lean away from your front leg. Exhale, breathing, triangle pose. Straighten the leg and come forward. Bringing the right hand down and the left arm up. Good. Turn your head, look down. Runner's lunge twist. So bend the right leg, land the left hand down. Spin on the ball of the left foot and pick up the right arm. Open up and twist. Bring the right hand down and vinyasa. Take the right leg back and lower down. Breathe. Good. Take your back bend, cobra or up dog, and come back to downward facing dog. Very nice. Left leg lifts up into the air. Inhale. Bend your left knee, stack your left hip on top of the right. So think of a scorpion's tail with your left knee pointing up towards the ceiling. Good. And then take the left foot, step it up in between your hands. High lunge. Inhale, breathing. One breath takes you up. Good. Exhale, warrior two. Drop the heel and then drop down into your front foot. Good. Inhale, straighten the left leg. Reach your arms all the way up. Exhale, breathing. Come back to warrior two. Reverse the warrior. Drop down, lean back. Sliding the back of your right hand across your low back, triangle pose, straighten the leg. Come forward, bring the left hand down, take the right arm up. Open up your chest, good. Lunge twist, look towards the floor, place the right hand down, bending the right knee. Pick up your left arm, twist it out, good. And then bring the hand down and step the left foot up to the front of the mat. Inhale, breathing, look forward. Exhale, breathing, fold, nice. And then inhale, breathing, come all the way up. And exhale, breathing, bring your hands to your heart center. Nice. Okay, let the arms come down by your side. And here we go. We're going to take a little tree pose. So, standing on the left leg, take the sole of the right foot to the inside of the left leg. And we'll try that fountain of youth, okay? So reach the arms out in front, thumbs up. Turn the thumbs down. And cross your right wrist over your left. Inverted prayer, bend your elbows, and bring your arms up over your head. Nice. And then work on straightening your arms to the best of your ability. Maybe you want to keep a little space there. I find if the elbows are bent, you can pull them back a little bit more. So you're getting a little bit more space into your shoulders a bit. As you work the balance, my foot is low on the leg, so that's what's working for my hip and my balance here this morning. Take one more breath. And now bring your hands to your heart center. Lift your right knee up in front of you and reach for the knee with your both hands. Firm up your left leg. Try not to lean back. Pull the right knee into your chest. And then release. Right leg comes down. All right, other side. Standing on the right leg. Take the sole of the left foot up to the inside of your right leg somewhere. Lift yourself up. Reach your arms out in front. Turn your thumbs down. Cross the left over the right. Connect the palms. Bend the elbows a bit. Bring them up over your head. A beautiful pose. A little windy over here. Do the best that you can. Focus, breathe. Elbows back. Chest open, throat soft, spine long. Standing right leg very strong and engaged. Push the foot down into the floor and lift up, power up a little bit taller. Beautiful. And now bring your hands to your heart center. Reach your left knee up into your chest and then grab the knee and just give it a little hug. Little traction here. Standing, little compression pose into your left hip. And then release the left leg down. Back up to the top of the mountain pose. Let the arms come down by your sides. Inhale, breathing, arms up overhead. And exhale, breathing, take a forward fold and come down. Drop your head, drop your chest, good. Inhale, half lift, last vinyasa, step into plank pose. Again, weight into your wrists, well warmed up with that, lower all the way down. Inhale, breathing, cobra pose. Lift your chest up. And then exhale, breathing, good, downward facing dog. Nice. When you're down dog, we'll come into pigeon pose. Starting by taking your right knee up to your right wrist, sliding your right foot across the mat, and then inchworm your left leg back a little bit to lower your hips. Push into your hands and lift your chest. Get length into your spine, and then begin to lower down, either onto your forearms, or maybe you can come all the way kind of face down onto the ground, depending on what your right hip is willing to give you today. But letting the weight come into it. So now this variation is pretty deep because of its weight-bearing dynamics. The exact same pose can be done, I'll demonstrate, on your back. Okay, so I would be doing the same pose by lying down and crossing my right ankle over my thigh. And then reaching through, perhaps grabbing the left leg as such. Either way, this variation is nice because it really preserves all of that length in the spine. You're just not putting a lot of weight into the right hip, so maybe the stretch isn't quite as deep, but maybe you don't need quite as deep a stretch. And it's good to practice both ways and understand which one is the best for you. And sometimes you alternate. Some days, you need to take a gentler version. Take a gentler version of your yoga practice. Instead of skipping it all together, let's show up and do the best that you can. About 5 more breaths here. Our hips are strong, and then therefore, and in some cases, can be very tight. So you want to hold this a while. Give the muscles, first of all, a chance to relax, and then they can open. You really have to coax the space out of your hips in a pigeon pose. 2 more breaths. In and out through the nose. Good. And then get your hands on the floor under your shoulders. Push your chest up, tuck your left toes under, and get yourself back to the downward facing dog. Now, if you're doing this on your back, then just stay. Stay on the back. So the other side, bring your left knee up to your left wrist or cross your left ankle over your right thigh. Good. Flex through your left foot. Good. Push into your hands, lift your chest, let your hips drop down a bit. And then let the head and the chest come down as well, or reach for your right leg. Sometimes even reaching for the right leg is not an option. And you can gently just cross the ankle over the thigh. You want to be careful about pushing the knee. Be careful how much weight you put on your knees, especially when the leg is bent and you're approaching it kind of from a sideways position. So the knee is not nearly as strong as the hip. You don't want to force the hip to where the knee might not like it, and then you won't like it. Knee problems are hell. We can avoid those. But the little space that you can get into your left hip. This is a good pose to breathe in, right? It's not cardiovascular incline. You're not standing, you're not flowing and moving and all of that stuff. And you can allow the body to settle and then allow the breath to come in and out. Really quite a nourishing posture. 5 more breaths here into the left hip. Last breath. And with that, push into your hands, lift your chest up. Tuck your back toes under and lift up and back. Take your last downward facing dog of your practice. So if you're on your back from the pigeon variation, stay there because we will all meet there in just a moment. But if you are in the dog, make it your grandest dog. Just with great ease and space, take your last breath in downward facing dog. And then let's place our knees down on the floor, and we'll come onto our backs. Come onto our backs here. Good. So coming into a fish pose is a nice complement to a pigeon pose. So prop yourself up a bit on your forearms and slide the palms of your hands underneath your glutes. At least the fingertips underneath the glutes. Walk the elbows in a little closer, squeeze, point your toes, and now lift your chest up and drop your head back. So you can get into this little sternum and collarbone opening, right? You're constricted in your shoulders. It's kind of tough to let the head come back. The front of the head might not even touch the floor. It doesn't have to. Keep the inner legs together. Lift up through the chest, push down through the forearms. Give yourself this beautiful back bend into your upper spine. Very nice. And then gently ease out of it by coming onto your back completely. Bending your knees, bring your knees into your chest. Good. Lift your feet up, so happy baby pose, much like a squat done on our backs. Take your arms on the insides of your legs and reach for the outsides of the feet. Let the weight of your arms start pulling your legs closer towards your ribs, your knees towards your outer chest. But roll your hips down at the same time, roll your shoulders down at the same time. You can rock and roll a little bit left and right. If your hips are agreeable to that, that's good. Nice. Keeping your back flat. Beautiful. And then take the knees, bring them gently into your chest. Nice. So let's place the feet on the floor just for a moment. So feet on the floor, slide your hips a little bit over to the left. Reach your arms out to the sides, let your palms face up. Now start pulling your knees into your chest and dropping them over to the right side. If possible, turn your head to the left. Didn't do a tremendous amount of twisting in today's class, so this is an important posture. And that said, you might feel it a little bit, the little pull in the back. Don't force it or make it any deeper, but really allow the weight to go where it goes. Muscles to stretch towards the side. Keep your left shoulder on the floor. Good. Take a couple of more breaths here. Nice. And then bring yourself back up. Again, feet down on the floor. So you can slide your hips kind of over to the right side of the mat. It aligns the spine better. Bring the knees into your chest, and let's start to drop the knees over to the left. Turn your head to the right. Keep your right shoulder down. And then relax the belly and the back. So you need not hold yourself up in any way. Let the floor do that for you. Let this twist in the spine. Resetting the joints of the spine, strengthening the muscles in the intervertebral discs. Relax the belly, relax the back. Two more breaths. And now gently release. Yeah. So extend your legs. Right. One last little thing here. Reach your arms up. So just stretch your arms up towards the ceiling. Good. We'll play with the mind a little bit. Turn your thumbs down. All right. Cross your right arm over your left. Come into your inverted prayer. Bend your elbows. Reach the arms up over your head and give yourself a full body stretch on the ground. So now point your toes Extend and lengthen your arms, right? So your side body gets nice and long, right? Tremendous space. Now, one more breath here. And then gently release all of that. And we'll rest on our backs for a moment. Let your arms come down by your side. Take them just a little wider, like you have the space. Turn your palms to face up and let the wrists and the fingers and the elbows get soft. And maybe there's a subtle bend to your knees. That's okay. Allowing the toes to flop out so that your back can relax as well. Nice, and close your eyes for a few moments, and we'll take a couple of minutes, 2 minutes, in a resting and silent shavasana. Make our next breath a little deeper than our last breath. A little movement into your fingers or your toes or someplace in your body. And take your knees into your chest. Give yourself a lovely hug. And then as you're ready, take your time coming up to a seat. We haven't had our seat yet in yoga. It's essential. It's an essential part of the practice. Able to find an effortless lift in our spines, a grounded sense in our lower body, complete sense of peace within. And then however it is that we got there throughout our yoga practice this morning, we let those details go. We just let them go. Be another class, and for now, we're left with just, it's really the residue, for lack of a better word, but it's all good. It's all good. All of that good and sweet stuff from our yoga practice. Join your hands together in front of your heart. Bring your chin to your chest. We acknowledge gratitude for something in our lives. Something, there's always something to be thankful for. And then some. And I thank you yet once again for practicing, for zooming along with us, either right here live or on your own later on. A wonderful weekend, everybody. Hope to see you next week. Namaste. Namaste, the salutation in Sanskrit, simply wishing well, honoring the light, as they say, from one to the other. So, beautiful work. Thank you for practicing and kind of flowing a bit, a little tiny bit. So yeah, have a wonderful weekend, everybody.